we're talking all about an incredible new study that is taking place right here in Colorado by one of our favorites, Wham, and we are standing here today with Coco. And Coco, I want to talk to you about this study. You're one of the people who is helping out, and there's so much that goes behind this. You're going to walk us through an incredible scenario you guys are doing here today in just a minute. But first, what has your role been in this stroke study?
So my background is as a paramedic, and I often had this clinical question as a paramedic that I wondered if my patient was better served to go to the nearest hospital, even if they didn't have the most advanced stroke care, or if I should bypass those other hospitals and go to that gold standard highest intervention stroke center. And so I looked to the evidence. When I got into medical school, I got really into evidence-based medicine, and I looked to the evidence and found that there really wasn't any. And so I emailed Dr. Dylla. Did go into cardiac arrest.
There are a lot of things that are time critical, but stroke, time is brain, kind of like a heart attack, right? So if every minute you delay care, you lose millions of neurons, which in terms of a functional outcome means that your chance of having a good outcome and going back to your baseline decreases with minutes, right?
Here we are about a year later and have created this pre-hospital research study looking at strokes and their outcomes in the hospital based on the pre-hospital treatments and transport times.
And so the whole idea with this study, we've been really lucky because we have strong women that are interested in research and interested in changing things. And so if you can mentor them from the ground up, you can put them in leadership positions where they can bring their own kind of unique perspective to things.
I came from a paramedic background, and I knew that there was a pretty large disconnect between EMS and the emergency room, and a lot of times we feel like we don't know the other. And so coming into this, the biggest thing that I learned was that there is a way to bridge the gap. It felt very, at least as a paramedic, I didn't know how to do that. I could talk to doctors and nurses, but we still felt very different. But this study is really breaking ground in bridging that gap between paramedics and doctors and nurses in the ER.
Stay running. Thank you. 1427.
While our study is predominantly surrounding stroke, today we are going to do a high-fidelity tactical EMS scenario with a fire-based component. Making entry. Heavy smoke.
I copy. Medic 72 for med.
Is everybody here who needs to be here?
Everybody's here.
All right. Birdie's male. He has a gunshot wound as well as inhalation burns from being in a fire.
My grandpa had a stroke, and he was very fortunate to be in a place where he got great care. And I think that, a stroke call that I run on the ambulance is something that I see at least weekly. And so diagnosing those and picking up on them when they present sort of randomly, right? Is it dizziness? Is it, we do have that facial droop and that arm drift, but it's not always that way. And so my goal and my passion is how do we elevate and empower pre-hospital providers?
I got to mentor Coco, and she's just brought more people, and I'm always turning around and there's always more women that are joining the team and are like, oh, well, let's be interested in doing this ourselves.
I feel incredibly honored to be in this position. I feel like a lot of people don't have that opportunity, and having each of them in different areas of their career being able to provide the mentorship that they do has just made the transition for me so much easier. And it extends to life things too. They're not just there for career questions or school questions or research questions. I can text them about anything day or night and they always respond, and they're always just a presence, and a female presence, that is invaluable.
The biggest thing that we will take away from this, more so than stroke research, more so than EMS research in general, is how do we show up for each other? And I think that Dr. Dylla has been integral in how I will show up for my medical students, in the way that she has showed up for us, in the way that she empowers me, in the way that she pushes me, but also supports me. And I think that if I look back on this one day, she will be someone that has truly changed the trajectory of my career and how I show up to empower other women.
Oh, they should be so proud of themselves. Well, this team of women is doing an incredible job ensuring that we and our loved ones are safe from ambulance to hospital. So thank you to Dr. Dylla and, of course, Dr. Wham and the entire team that traveled hours to Byers, Colorado to help shed light on this incredible new study. We look forward to showing you all at home more results of the study in the coming months.